YouTube, what's up guys? So I want to make a quick video talking about where I am updated with my meet prep for the meet that's in about 3.5 weeks right now that I originally was going to document on YouTube. So I forgot what the actual title of the kind of journey was, something like to the platform or journey to the platform, something like that, path to the platform, something hopefully witty I came up with. I had like 3 to 5 videos kind of going through my first few weeks of my meet prep. I was super excited about it. Then my videos just kind of stopped. You know, if you follow me on like Instagram or my friend on Facebook or something, you may have heard me just like bitch a lot about my knee. And that is certainly why those videos kind of stopped, because I pretty much tentatively removed myself from the meet at about 8 weeks out because I couldn't squat at all. I probably could, but I decided not to squat anymore at all. I didn't really have like an exact timetable of when I was going to be back to being able to hit semi-big numbers again. I didn't want to like put the added stress on myself of like taking only a week off or 2 weeks off or a month off. I wanted to just let it flow, and whenever I felt good again, I was going to feel good. So that was my main priority, is to get healthy. So having a meet in the back of my head was not going to be a good motivator just to remain healthy. You know, I would have tried to rush things a little bit more. So kind of give you a synopsis of how my meet prep has cycled out now. You know, starting at 12 weeks out, I was having some sort of issues with my knee. It was pretty much like a self-diagnosed Patella Tendonitis. So your patella tendon is just right what's under your kneecap. I don't think I can lift my knee up this high, but I would show you. You probably know what your patella tendon is. I was having like, it just kind of got hot sometimes. At the end of some workouts, it would feel a little like, you know, achy or something. It probably originated when I played basketball, because it would really, really hurt like after games, stuff like that. And just, you know, tons of jumps and miles put in on concrete and wood. Way more than like squatting big weights is going to do for your knees. That's probably where it originated from. And, you know, as my frequency and the loads on my back have increased, you know, certainly that's more stress on your knee. You know, 400 pounds is more stress than 200 pounds on a knee. But anyway, started off my 12-week prep, having a little bit of issues, but I could still make it through most of my workouts. And then I was trying to squat 3 times a week. So if we're looking at the 4 weeks, the first 4 weeks of my prep, that would have been 12 squat workouts, right? I probably missed almost half of those, just because I either tried to squat that day and when it worked up and just there was no way I was going to be able to hit it without feeling like my knee was going to explode, or I didn't even attempt to squat because my knee felt bad just like walking up and down steps or something. Not bad like it's tweaking, bad like I have to favor my other leg just to walk and not have it hurt. Or like I can't just like, you know, kind of pounce down stairs like I like to. I have to like kind of like take a step. Like I'm an 80-year-old man. That's what it felt like. So, and it's persistently got worse from about that 12-week out to 8-week out mark. And I actually hit a 440 squat on that 8-week out mark. It moved pretty well, actually, and again, this is just because my patella tendonitis, as you may have some issues like this before. You know, I had kind of some days where there was no way I was going to squat, some days were kind of moderate, and some days I felt like there was nothing there, you know what I mean? And depending on what day that was, of course, it was going to kind of dictate my training. So I ended with the 440 squat, which was really fast, pretty good, definitely the fastest I've ever hit a load that heavy. And then that following week, it pretty much came to like a halt. I almost missed a 370 squat, like warming up, because my knee felt so bad. I kind of just like thought to myself, like, how worth it is it to squat like a big number at this meet in 8 weeks that I can't, like, you know, if I could take 6 months, 9 months, a year off, because I just totally fuck up my knee, right? So at that point, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna take some time off, like I said. Don't know how much, but I'm just not gonna squat. I'll focus on bench press and deadlift and do whatever. So from about 8 weeks out to 5 weeks out, that 3-week mark, or I guess that'd be 6 weeks out, I did not squat at all. Didn't squat the bar, didn't do Bulgarian split squats, didn't do anything. I pretty much just letting my knee heal as much as possible, just kind of recover, and doing like some prehab, you know, strength stuff. So I got some advice from PT people that I know. I did some glute work and some, you know, mobility and stretching, all that stuff. Maybe I'll release a video upon that. But again, what I'm doing to treat it is like an N value of 1. You'd be 100 times better off of actually seeing someone like a physical therapist that actually lifts, not just any physical therapist that tells you to stop squatting as the solution. But someone who knows what they're talking about and deals with, you know, athletes would be someone to ideally see. But so I ended up taking 3 weeks off. I didn't have like a set diagnosed amount of time. I was just say I'm going to take as much time as I need. I felt pretty good after a week. I felt like almost nothing after 2 weeks. And then probably at 2 weeks I did like some body weight stuff, squatting the bar, doing like just whatever, very low stress stuff. And then I started to do like maybe 2.5 weeks in, just like some single leg work. And then the third week I actually started to kind of put some load on my back. So I deleted all the videos off my iPad, so I can't really show you, but in like the 5 sessions back, I'm trying to hit off like the numbers off the top of my head. I was just squatting like once or twice a week. I started off with like 8s or something like that, so like 235 for a set of 8, and just like kind of like light working up there again, keeping the volume pretty low. Then like 265 for 8, 285 for 8, like 315 for 4. Maybe hit like 365 for a single. I remember I hit 385 for a double. And then just recently I've hit in workouts 400, 420, 425 as singles. So again, that was probably all those numbers. Again, that's not one day. That was probably the course of like maybe 6 to 8 workouts and getting back to it. So I took about 3 weeks totally off of training, and then I've taken about 2 weeks to climb back into what is pretty much back to where I was. I hit 425 pretty smooth. For not squatting routinely, that felt pretty good. So that's kind of where I'm at with squatting. Obviously, squatting 425 with, it's not like 100%, to be honest with you guys. I'm not just like, can't just jump off of buildings and feel nothing. I took 3 weeks off, not 3 months off. But it is substantially better. It's not to the point where I have to like think about it before I'm moving, or I can't just hop out of bed and like just do whatever. I have to like make sure I'm landing on my left leg all the time. It's not that serious anymore, which is good. But I'm still not really pushing it. I'm not gonna like try to make up for the volume and try to squat 3 or 4 times a week right now. My goal is just once or twice. Be pretty conservative with things. And again, I should be able to hit a decent number at the meet. So again, hitting 425 right now. That was like at 7 o'clock in the morning too. So, if I could hit a mid 400 squat, 440, 450, 460 at the meet, that would be awesome. So that was kind of my main update for you guys. Kind of see where I'm at with bench press right now. My bench press went up a lot because I was benching about 4 to 5 times a week when I couldn't squat, because it was just like, can't do almost any lower body training without a good knee. So I was just benching a lot. And I hit some big PRs when I hit that 290 bench press. I hit some like maybe a 280 double, 275 doubles. Just feeling really good. It's not where it was a couple of weeks ago when the frequency was so high, but I'm still really confident with it. Again, my best number in training is 290. So if I could hit even somewhere near that at a meet, that would be awesome. Because you have to kind of factor in how consistent your pauses are. I try to be really kind of honest with my pauses, but again, it's very different when you're counting your pause versus externally hearing a pause. So, if I could hit maybe 280 is a good minimum at the meet, I think that's definitely in my sights, if I'm feeling good or bad. So if I could hit 280. And my bench press frequency has came down a little bit as my squats built up. Because obviously, from a total perspective, if I increase my squat up to where it was, that has a lot more potential for me than my bench press. Even if I increase my bench press, 5%, that's like 10 pounds versus a 5% jump in my squat could be 20 or 30 pounds. So you always have to kind of weigh that decision. But I'll probably try to hit some more frequency. I'm about 2 to 3 times a week right now for bench press, 3.5 weeks out right now. And then for deadlifts, something else I was kind of doing to focus on my knee. This is no longer a quick video, so only the real supporters are staying around. But one other thing I was doing for my knee is not actually pulling off the ground for a conventional deadlift. Because again, like you may not think about it, but when you have a really kind of messed up knee, just trying to press off the floor on a conventional deadlift really hurt my knee, at least when it was flared up. So to kind of correct for that, I took a full week off of deadlifting and then started to pull off blocks, which I've almost never done. Haven't really liked, and I would say I've bashed it before in the past, but I've always said that like it's not a big carryover to the actual lift. So I did that. I pulled from blocks again, so you can't see this, but I pulled from blocks so I could just have less knee flexion back and forth. So it's pretty much just like a hip hinge with my knee staying vertical to keep most of the stress off of that. And then I added back in conventional deadlifts off the floor. And again, by that time, my knee was feeling pretty good. And then I added in squats after that. But kind of during that same period where I wasn't squatting, I really just kind of focused on building up some volume with deadlifts. So nothing like crazy heavy, for me at least. I was staying like low 400s, maybe even high 300s for some training sessions. And then now I'm starting to squat again and get closer to the meet, which I do anticipate doing. I'm ramping up kind of some more top sets. So I've hit, last week I hit 470 for a single, which was very conservative. I wasn't like trying to max out. I was just trying to hit that kind of number, see how it felt. And then this past week I hit 490 for a single, which is just 5 pounds down from my PR, and that felt really good. So as far as being 3.5 weeks out right now, I have no plan with squat. I'm not even like set up any sort of like peak or whatever. I'm just really what I'm doing for squat is doing a conservative single. So I'm gonna hit like what I think I can hit that day, like 410, 420, 430, 440, whatever, and then do sets of 2 at 90% of that number, or sets of 3 at 85% of that number. And I don't have any sort of volume for that either. Like I could do 1 set or I could do 6 back off sets. Again, it's all just going to be dependent upon how I feel with my knee from set to set. If I feel sort of any non-musculature pain, you know, localized pain in that tendon, I'm just going to scratch it. You know what I mean? Even if that's working up to a single, I'm scratching it. So that's my goal for squat. Hit a top single, either do doubles or triples depending on whatever I feel that day, and do as many sets as I kind of feel good, stimulated, but not crush myself. With bench press, probably edge something out as far as like a peak. Again, being 3.5 weeks out right now, it's not going to be a crazy taper or anything. But I'll probably just keep most of my stuff pretty heavy for this for the next 3.5 weeks. That way my volume is pretty moderate to low. I might share that with you guys. And then for deadlifts, I really just kind of want to hit, you know, past 2 weeks, I've liked this idea of hitting like a top triple, a top double, and a top single. That way when you hit that single, you're a little bit fatigued. You're not super fresh. And again, if I'm a little bit fatigued, I can recover from that single better than if I was fresh, because that number is just going to be artificially a little lower. So I'll probably just do something like that for the next 3.5 weeks. And then of course, you know, 1 week out, I will essentially just kind of take like a deload or just like some technique work and stuff like that. So I really probably only have 2 more deadlift workouts in me. So if I just hit 490, maybe I'll try to hit like 500 and 510 in the gym if it feels good that day. And then, yeah, hit up the meet and see where I'm at. I don't really have any goals for the meet as far as like numbers. Again, if I get a high 200 bench press, a mid 400 squat, and a low 500 pull, that will be good. My main 2 goals really are just to qualify for USAPL Nationals, which is a super low total. As long as I don't bomb out, I'll qualify, and go 9 for 9. Those are my only real 2 goals. Whatever kind of the numbers are, we'll see. And again, being 3.5 weeks out, I've decided 99% sure gonna do the meet, bar any sort of knee flare up or whatever. I'm totally in. I'm really excited about it. Sorry for kind of not documenting this, guys, but again, like I was going through a period where I wasn't squatting, wasn't going to do the meet, and I was kind of coming back and I wasn't sure. But you know, now from about 8 weeks out to about 3.5, you know, after about 5.5 weeks of taking time off and then building back up, I think I can perform, you know, pretty much to my abilities. You know, being 90-95% probably at that meet is damn good enough. And yeah, I'll probably do some more training videos leading up to it now, but wanted to get this video out to you guys as soon as possible. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to my channel, like the video, go visit my website, go do my Instagram, do my Facebook. All that shit is in the description box. Just go click it if you like it. See ya.